Signs of promise. A few too many false dawns. An ineffable sense that one or two tweaks would see everything fall into place, without being able to put a finger on the required nature of those changes. It's a pretty accurate description of the campaign for up to this point, but it also sums up S maiden season. The expensive addition has at least brought more of a fun factor than the team as a whole, with his general chaos more akin to the early iterations of Jurgen Klopp's than the aging, toiling unit the striker is now tasked with reinvigorating. But in a big-picture sense, Núñez has mirrored the team, in that things just aren't quite going right. Certainly, Núñez has had no luck in keeping up with, billed as his big rival when the pair arrived in the summer as the marquee additions at the two sides which had just duked it out for the title. In truth, was clearly buying a far more finished product, with the Uruguayan not having previously played in a top-5 division. But the contrast has done nothing to ease the pressure on the man. Eden Hazard, given brutal label as Mikel Arteta agrees with Jurgen Klopp, rivals roundup transfer option emerges as $29 million. New David Silva fits Jurgen Klopp midfield brief. However, Haaland has not been free from criticism either, despite being on track to obliterate the goal-scoring record. Indeed, none other than Thierry Henry has recently suggested that the forward is getting one key thing wrong. Henry is probably one of the few people in a position to give tips to the Norway star, with 175 goals to his name and a reputation as one of the best the league has ever witnessed. And the Arsenal legend, who has recently been linked with the managerial vacancy, via and others, buys into the narrative that Haaland has not really adapted to. Speaking on CBS Sports, Henry explained the crucial bit of advice that gave to him, which Haaland would now benefit from following. Arsene told me, ask yourself the right question. When I was a striker I used to complain about everything, right, he doesn't give me the ball. The boss said, do you think Dennis Bergkamp can give you the ball the same way that Frederik Ljungberg does? So I started to think. With Dennis, I knew I could move however I wanted to move. Robert Pires likes a 1-2, I need to come with him short. Frederik Ljungberg, I need to be in his path, the way he runs, because if not, he will not see me. How can I enhance the skills of a player instead of showing his weaknesses? I think sometimes Haaland is making the same run whoever is on the ball. This is some fascinating insight from Henry. Quite apart from shining a light on how incredible Bergkamp was in his pomp, and suggesting the would-be getting an astute observer of the game, it raises an interesting contrast between elite strikers and elite team players. Knows the difference well, having relied upon for so many years. Klopp certainly does not believe that goals have to define great number 9s. And while Núñez was seemingly signed as a more prolific forward for the next generation front line, the 23-year-old also seems to be taking Henry's advice. Speaking to the, Núñez almost perfectly echoed Henry's sentiment, here at, I have teammates who are all high-quality footballers. I need to be able to understand how they play a little more and it's the same for them with me. It's what settling into each other's games is all about. They get used to how I play and, in turn, I grow accustomed to how they play. I think that in time we'll start to see some good and positive results. On one hand, this is all fairly boilerplate interview fodder. But equally, the truth of Núñez's words can be seen on the pitch. His best link-up is with whom he has now played alongside quite a lot. In the last couple of matches, his understanding with seems to be growing. Just like Henry, he can be seen reacting to the players around him. Nunez would need a strong finish to the campaign to match Henry's debut season with Arsenal, requiring 12 goals in the final 17 matches. But it's not an entirely implausible outcome, reflecting that a relatively slow burn of a start does nothing to ultimately prevent Hall of Fame status. Haaland, of course, breezed past that first Henry campaign tally long ago, but until his freakish goal returns are reflected in his success, questions will remain about whether he has really improved the team. Has grounds to be confident that its own number 9 is gearing up to enhance everybody around him, while they may have something to look forward to. $30 million playmaker open to transfer amid links as Mason Mount stance confirmed. Shea Given claims only 2 players would start for Newcastle amid baffling omissions.